Hello, 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 everybody. I lied. I had to do one last stream before the end of the trip. The adventure in me couldn't resist. As I was almost home, almost probably an hour and a half away, I passed by this place called Three Rivers Petroglyph site. And I've always been wanting to come here, so I said, hey, what the hell? We're already here, let's stop by. It's just a little half-a-mile hike, and it's going to take us straight to some Indian petroglyphs, which I've taken you guys to some on a little hike up in Albuquerque. That was actually kind of cool because you don't really get to access a lot of these sites just right off the road. You know, a lot of these places, it's a long hike in. In Albuquerque, you can literally just park at a visitor center, walk probably a quarter of a mile and see some petroglyphs. Here, kind of the same thing. It's a little bit more than a quarter of a mile. But let's read this here. But welcome everybody to the chat. So yeah, we got some data here. You guys can join me on this hike, and hopefully we'll get to see some petroglyphs. So it says Three Rivers Petroglyph Site. Inhabitants of a nearby village made the Three Rivers Petroglyph rock carving over 600 years ago. Over 20,000 petroglyphs have been identified in the area. The people were of the Jornada Mogollon prehistoric Indian culture, of which there are no known modern descendants. Interesting. The petroglyphs' purpose and meaning are not entirely clear. Some depict the animals and plants the people saw around them. Many certainly had religious meaning. The petroglyphs have endured here for centuries. Please be careful with the fragile resources so they may be enjoyed for years to come. All right, let's go. I got this pretty cool little camping site here. So you want to come, you can chill here. Yeah, we could actually, little Dobby. So I actually brought the Sky Chopper 420 with me. So give me a second. Let's get to an area and we can actually launch if you guys want to see a good view from Sky Chopper 420. What's up, Diane? It is a little windy. That's the only thing about the Sky Chopper 420, though. Is when it's windy, it gets to be a little bit hard to navigate, but we'll see. Well, that's the thing, Pamela. Unfortunately, because this is on BLM land, you cannot pick up, I don't know about rocks, but I know anything that's of archaeological reference, you may not pick up. You can look at it, you can take pictures, but you can't pick it up. Now, rocks might be different, because I think on BLM land, at least in our state, you actually are allowed to carry out a certain amount of pounds of rocks per visit and things like that. But I don't know if that is also, if that also counts on an actual site like this. So they've got these little viewfinders here. Yeah, this is a good little spot to launch. Let's do a little quick launch. I already see some right here. Look at, here's some petroglyphs right here, right off the bat. Pretty cool. Yeah, the wind's pretty calm. There's some right here. Hopefully we can find some that might look kind of alien-ish, you know. They say religious, but some people say a lot of people depicted what they saw in the sky. There's a few right here. All right, let's roll. I think they're going to be all along up here, so we'll launch here. And yeah. Now the only thing is I got to switch onto my other phone here, so let me just do that really quick. If I remember carefully, I think it's, yeah, I think I remember how to do this. Just give me a sec here. I basically need to put my, let's see, hotspot on first. Boom. Hotspot's on. No, not Area 51. We're here in New Mexico now, bad dog. Oh, and guess what? I was going to take you inside the visitor center. I should have just started there first, but they got a sign that says because of the government shutdown, they unfortunately don't have anybody here to man the visitor center. So I personally got to experience a little of the government shutdown. As a matter of fact, a few of the parks that I looked at that I was possibly going to stop on my way back, they all said the same thing too. I was going to go to Carlsbad Caverns, but I don't think there's any data there for you guys. You know, once I get into the caverns, that's it. You guys wouldn't be able to go in with me. And, you know, I want to still go places where I can take you guys. It's the whole purpose of this trip. All right, so Sky Chopper 420 is pretty much ready to go. I just got to switch phones here really quick. So let me see if this phone's picked up the data yet. All right. Okay, so it's just picked up now. So this one I got to switch over onto Prism. Hang tight here, everybody. Close. So this one I think I got to go boom. Okay, check. Boom. Whoa, you guys are about to falsky there. Okay, so I think I go here. Okay. All right, now I'm switching over to my other phone. Boom. All right, cool. So it should have switched over, hopefully. Let me get you guys on the tripod. And now I can use for my remote. All right, can you guys, somebody in chat, let me know if we're good? All right. Hopefully that switch over worked okay. Oops, no, that's not what I want. I need a little shade here to fly this. All right. We up? All right, we're still seeing Prism. Good, good. Yeah, no, we haven't launched yet. I'll let you guys know where we're about to launch. I just wanted to make sure we switched over. I switched you guys over to my other phone. All right. So. All right, cool. That's connecting good. Transmission, general, live streaming, RTMP. Did it change? 161. Cool. Yay. Same one. Cool. All right, here we go. You guys should be seeing what I'm looking at here in a second. All right, cool. Now you're on the drone vision. We've got satellites. Let me see if I can get towards some better shade here. Take you guys with me. Yeah, here's some shade. I can fly in this shade and see what you guys are looking at. All right, here we go.
Takeoff. Home point updated.
Let's kind of follow the trail here. I'm going to start recording. So I guess this is the trail we're going to be taking here. I'm sure there's probably some petroglyphs along these rocks. There's some people right here hiking. Yep, they're going to be coming right up to me here soon. Here's a, you must not like drones. He's already talking shit. Welcome New Mexico, buddy. You don't own the air, nor the land. There's a little station there. How pretty, huh? See if we can actually see some here. Huh. I guess we'll just have to look on the hike, y'all. But what a beautiful area, huh? Show you guys kind of the campsite. Oh yeah, no, I'm recording right now everything that you guys are seeing because this is recording in 4K. I wish you guys could see this in 4K. What it's streaming is in 720, which it still looks really good, but man, the 4K is fucking awesome. So that's the visitor center right there. You guys see where my car's parked at. That's the campsite. They got some hookups too, so you can even park an RV here if you want, or you can just camp in a tent. Got this little probably find some stuff down there. If that was an old ancient riverbed, I'm sure you could probably find some arrowheads and pottery down there. They said there's an Indian village somewhere over here. I don't see where that could be. Maybe over here by this rock. I think you follow this trail right here. Let's see. Let's see where this takes us. Don't see anything here. Nothing there. All right, let's head back and land and let's finish our hike. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, I bet you could find a lot of cool stuff following this little ancient riverbed. Pretty cool. All right. All right, now you guys should be on me now. Pretty cool, huh? All right, let's just put this away. See? We didn't give that. See, that guy bitched about all that, and he probably heard the drone for about 1 minute, right? I'm telling you, man, people are so negative, bro. It's like, how do you shots here so that people can learn about this place? They can post it on YouTube so others can see it that aren't from here. Bet you this guy probably learned about this place from YouTube video. All right. Anyways, I'll keep this hotspot on. Hopefully, it'll be a good signal even when we're hiking, because I don't want to switch my phone again. Well, actually, fuck it. Let's do it. It's not going to do anything. Might as well. That way. All right. Unfortunately, with my new phone, it's kind of weird. With the new Samsung 5 Ultra, regular S23 and an S25 Ultra. Well, the S25 Ultra, when I use it for my drone, as far as live streaming, the microphone, for some reason, it comes out horrible. The older phone, believe it or not, has no problems with it. And there's nothing DJI's done to fix it with the firmware update, nothing. As a matter of fact, there's not a lot of videos about it. I found one guy that talks about it. So fortunately, I had another phone, which allows me to, you know, be able to do what we do, and you guys still have decent audio. But kind of shitty, because I would rather not have to switch to two phones like this, but whatever. It is what it is. All right. man. Let's see what's going on. Okay, there we go. I've been watching a lot on that, Jenny girl. I don't know. What's up, guys? Give me a second. Let me get this switched over. I don't know why this thing's being kind of shitty. I might just have to keep it on what we have it on. Okay, hold on. Now it's going to switch over. Give me 1 second. Perfect. Switched over. Now I can take this off of hotspot. So that should make this hopefully better. All right, cool. Let's get going. All right. Let me get you guys now on my selfie stick. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. Bada ba. Shut this off. Let me get a drink of water really quick. Gotta keep myself hydrated. Alright, let's continue on our little hike here. It's a beautiful day, nice little breeze. Alright, let's continue on. I guess this is the way you get on the trail here. I got those there. Let's see what the sign says. Yeah, trail is this way. Yeah, so, well, I don't know if you've seen, it's now going to be going by, I guess, Jupiter, which is going to be the closest that, I guess, one of the telescopes that are watching it from whatever organization's got the best telescope to watch it from will be the closest they can see it. So that won't be, I guess, till next year is what they were saying. But yeah, pretty interesting shit, man. Pretty interesting. I bet you there's some on these rocks here. Let's see. We've got a little trail here. Kind of interesting why they would just randomly, if this must have been a site here where they were just hanging out at. Yeah, there's a little bit there. Not much. But, I mean, I don't see really a lot of big... Oh, yeah, there's some right over here. I don't see a lot of big boulders, so it's just like random that they just kind of... Yeah, I guess probably just sitting down here doing something. Maybe just pecking away at some arrowheads, you know, and get a little bored and start drawing. Usually I know a lot of areas where you'd see a lot of these petroglyphs, or a lot of places where you're on high ground, where you'd have a lot of the like Indian scouts just hanging out. And you know, think about it. You ain't got no TV, so you're just sitting there basically waiting to see any signal fires from other tribes, or you're looking to see any dust kick up from horses coming from, you know, other, you know, the cavalry scouts or other Indian tribes. But, you know, you might not be doing shit for a long time. So I guess what else you have to do? Sit there and draw. Oh yeah, here's some. There's a shit ton here. That one's interesting right there. That almost looks like a UFO, huh? Like a rocket ship. I'm looking for ones that look kind of... This one looks like they've got a shield. So it looks like they were battling at some point. What's interesting is this tribe, the Mogollons, I believe is what they said. There's a thunderbird. They said they don't have any descendants. So what happened to them? Why was there, you know, like you got the Apaches, right? The Mescalero Apaches. We're just not too far from Lincoln County, home of the Apache tribe. You know, you got a lot of tribes. You got the Navajo tribe that, you know, these are Indian tribes that have been around for, you know, probably in the thousands of years. There's a handprint. That's pretty cool. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 claws. Have you guys ever seen the hand with the 6 fingers? I think that one's in Utah. But kind of interesting. I mean, these things are just kind of in random areas. I wonder if there was a trail here to go to like one of their Indian sites, and this is just kind of a way they would... This right here looks like high ground. This looks like this would be an area where if I was just like an Indian scout, I would be just chilling here. That's a pretty good one there. Nice and clear. Look at this one. Ooh. Got some more over here. Yeah, there was no way I was going to fly the drone this close to get... I had a feeling they were probably on these little rocks because I didn't see any big old boulders. But yeah, that's why we can just get up in close with the... Oh, this is a good one right here. Look at this one. There's a ram right there. Look at this one. This is a nice... Look how big that one is. Let's go close up for you guys. Kind of looks better far away, to be honest with you. That's a nice one there. Whoever did that one did a good job. There you go. Pretty cool, man. I'm glad I stopped. There's another foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 claws. Man, that was a good surface there. Oh, there's a interesting one there. We'll get oh, there's one on the backside there. They're kind of all over. That one almost looks like a centipede. You know, kind of drawing like they said what they saw in nature. Oh, these are nice right here. Holy schmoly, these look pretty scary. Watch, look at these ones. These are the ones I was looking for, the alien looking ones. Look at that one. These are pretty good. That one's crazy. Pretty cool. That one's kind of nuts. Look at this one. That looks like the mouth right there because there's the teeth. That one's pretty scary, man. Oh yeah, that was the one we were looking at on the... Oh yeah, it's on the other side here. It's kind of like a squiggly. That one's interesting. Alright, that was a pretty cool little batch of petroglyphs. Watch, there's probably some over here. And literally, you don't have to walk that far just to get some, see a bunch of them. Ooh, that one's scary looking. Man, these are some pretty... These guys had some pretty creative. Some of these look like they could be a lot older. I bet you there's some that are old, some that are a little bit like, you know, newer. I mean, they're still hundreds of years old. Probably some could even be thousands. I think it said, what, 500 or 600 years old? But that's what they're guessing, right? But some of these look like they're older than other ones. Whoa, that was a mean little drop I didn't see. Let's not get a broken ankle on the last day of the trip, NJ. Wow, what's crazy is here's some big boulders and I don't see, like, let's see. And I'm glad we're coming this time of the year, because if it was during the summer, there'd probably be a lot of little rattlesnakes around. I'd imagine these bigger ones would have more drawings on them. Seems like they like that other spot. That's our view so far from where we're at. Let's continue on, I guess, this little trail here. yeah, I see some more. Well, I gotta pay attention to the ground too. Looking up and paying attention. That one's a pretty mean one right there. I don't know. That one looks pretty new. I don't think, I mean, I'm sure there's something over there. That one looks pretty interesting. What's this? Oh yeah, that's a good one right there. That's a really good one. I like that set of those first ones we saw. There's one up there. See, like that looks like an old one there. There's some that look like they're older ones here. Then I guess it depends on the rock too. That one had a pretty emblem. It looked like the rock broke at some point. Maybe it fell from up top. Okay, I was gonna say, these are some pretty big slabs. There's probably gotta be some pretty good petroglyphs up here. Yeah, this is a good, this is probably like where they had a lot of Indian scouts. I bet you there's some on this mound. They're probably just along this whole ridge. You know what I mean? Just at different little mounds. These could have even been little hunting bluffs for all I know. I don't know. I'm not an archaeologist. I don't know much about this shit. I'm just guessing. I'm just watch Discovery Channel. But I'm trying to learn. That's why I'm going to places like this. Ooh, okay, well, yeah, let's climb up here. Let's go. Ooh, that one's a good one. All right, hey, don't say I don't love you guys. Check this one out. We gotta climb up. Oh, man, that looks like a little hawk nest right there. I don't know, fucking hawk coming, try to fucking get me or something. Caca, caca. All right, look at this one. Those ones right there. Ooh, that one's cool. Use my selfie stick. Sorry, you're gonna have to turn your head. All right. Let's get down from this mess. Alright, let's continue up over here. Looks like a cross or something there. They said over in the 20s, thousands. I don't know if it was 50,000 or more, or 20,000 to 50,000 petroglyphs. We'll have to read the sign on our way out again that they have identified, and I guess some type of field or manual or book. I'm sure the NMSU, which would be the closest college that I know has got a big archaeological department, is probably the one that's did a lot of the research out here, I would imagine. Yeah, I don't know. See, do you think this arrow is old, or if somebody did that, like that's new? Like it's pointing this way. Something buried over here? Let's see. Oh, that's a pretty interesting little arrow. That looks old. It's pointing that way. I wonder where that Indian village is that they're digging up. They said it's, oh, you know what? It's probably by the river. Yeah, right? You're going to want to live by the river and follow the greenage, which is right there. So there's got to be water going through there. Sorry about the wind. It's starting to pick up. Actually, we just landed Sky Chopper 420 at a perfect time. Kind of picks up and then dies down, picks up and then dies down. Interesting. This spot doesn't seem as popular. I bet you there's a shit ton over there. I can guarantee you there's a bunch over there. Let's walk over there and then we'll turn around. I just wanted to come do a short little hike. Get my legs stretched from that sitting down for the last 6 hours. Now there's some more. There's a camping site about 8 miles down the road from here. I don't know if that's where I've camped at, because I swear I came out here when I was in Scouts. But I don't remember that it wasn't at a nice like camping site like that. So I'm pretty sure we camped more towards the mountains down over there. Look, there's a sign up there. All right, I said there would be some here, but I guessed wrong. I don't see any. Was there not? This looks like a badass spot. Look at this protection you got right here. I'll be chilling right here, man, with my bow and arrow. No, we're in New Mexico. We're actually near, in Lincoln County, near, pretty close to Ruidoso, New Mexico, in the Tularosa Basin. That's amazing. I would have guessed there would have been a bunch over here. Interesting. That was a pretty big rock. Let's see what this sign says and then we'll turn around. They've got me interested. Yeah, it seems like a lot of the petroglyphs were at that first little batch of rocks, which again was kind of weird because they were all small little rocks, you know. Let's see what this sign says. Yeah, see, the Tularosa Basin. We're near White Sands National Monument, the beautiful, beautiful national monument. I think White Sands is actually part of like the something wonders of the world. Sacramento Mountains, right in front of us. Camping, hiking, and backpacking. Man, I want to get back to hiking, man. This is what I miss. There's mining villages in the Sierra Blancas. The Mescalero Apache Indian Reservation encompasses 738 square miles, just a fraction of the traditional territory occupied by the nomadic Apache bands. Permanent streams and intermittent roads carry fresh spring and rainwater from the mountain canyons to the Tularosa Basin. So these mountains are what provided the water here for this village that was down here. Cool. Well, that was an interesting little hike. I'm sure there's probably a lot of little petroglyphs along here. Watch, there's a few more here. Let's see what they got. But I think the majority of them were right there at the beginning. Let's see, I see a few more over here. That looks like an older one, but this one looks like a big one here. There's one there. There's a big one right over here. That looks like a lizard, kind of. Get out of the shadow. There you go. Lizard, yeah? There's a few more over here. Oh, there's some. hidden anything under here. Look in these cracks and stuff. Yo, throw a rock. I can throw a rock. That's not illegal. For $2, we definitely throw a rock for you. Thank you. I appreciate that donation, Twint. No. This is in New Mexico. This one's for you, Twint123. See if I can make it to that hill right there. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to throw it on my arm. There you go, my friend. One rock. Hey. Let's do dollar rock throws here in chat. Just kidding. I appreciate that. What up, Burrito Head? Boy, you can tell I haven't done a lot of walking in a while. No, I'm just kidding. I actually feel really good. That was nice to get out and stretch. Cool little flight. Which, man, dude, I'm telling you, there was so many cool spots. If the wind wasn't as windy as it was today, I would have loved to stop at a bunch of spots that I could have stopped and taken you guys on some really cool flights, man. There's a lot, like in New Mexico, man, this last little 2-hour drive I have that I've done, last 3 hours, man, I've gone through like the smallest, creepiest little ghost towns. Pretty cool, man. I'm going to definitely come back. What's really cool is they've got the railroad goes through a lot of these towns, just like in the Midwest. And what I want to do next year, I have way too many projects going on now, but what I'd like to do on my next trip that I do is start photographing a lot of the, I love graffiti art, okay? And I'm not a graffiti artist, far from it. I'm a horrible artist, but I love graffiti art and very jealous of those that can do really good graffiti art. But anyways, I want to start photographing the graffiti art on the railroad trains. And I think it'd be cool to do like a, I don't know if I would do a whole channel, but some way, like a page dedicated to that, where if those graffiti artists see their art, they can, comment on it, and, I can send them a picture of their art on the train. Or it'd be cool to see where they, where they originally tagged the art at, what part of the country, and, and then they can see, oh shit, my art made it all the way to, so-and-so New Mexico, or so-and-so whatever, Kansas, Ohio, whatever, But, and then with the drone, because sometimes those trains are a little bit, in the distance. With the drone, you can get right up close to them, and they're not moving. They're just stationary, so it's not very hard to get good footage. Oh, there's some people there. I bet you they can listen. They probably can hear me all the way from fucking over there. My voice can travel, especially if there's wind. But yeah, cool. This is a kind of cool little pit stop. If I didn't have to go back tomorrow to drop off the rental, I would totally stay the night here. Cool, nice little campsite. Just chillax. Set up a hammock, read a nice book. All right. Let's start heading down. There be gold in them hills over there, boys. All right. Oh, I guess these are marked. There you go. Let's see what's so important about this one. Oh yeah, this is the one that had some pretty cool ones. We had to walk around, but yeah, there was some pretty rad ones over here. There's the bear. There was some pretty cool, like, pretty, like, wicked-looking ones, too. If you're just joining now, if you rewind, you'll see the ones that we looked at over here in this batch. There's a bear hand on the way out. Oh, well, shout out to my UK viewer, man. It's always nice to see some international viewers in chat. But, yeah, man, thank you, everybody, joining me on this quick little walk, little hike. I call it a hike. That one's got a whole shit ton of stuff. That one, for whatever reason, they liked graffitiing on that one. There's a bunch of little animals on that one. Huh, that one looks like it's got pinchers on it. Pretty weird. You know, you gotta wonder how it looked up here before they had a trail. You know, I'm sure it was just like a little game trail probably that went up to these little sites where the petroglyphs are at. But yeah, you can see where the water's at. No, we're in New Mexico, in the Tularosa Basin of New Mexico. So, you know what? If I probably would have flown up high enough on the drone, you probably would have seen white sands over there. You can kind of almost see it. Watch, this motherfucking phone can zoom sometimes. It almost emits like this white. You know how it almost looks like there's a fog? It's because that's all white sand, bro. So like the fucking sun's beaming off of it, and that's like the reflection of like the white sands. It's pretty gnarly. I mean, it's huge. Huge fucking swath of land that's all just, it looks like snow, man. Like you could literally, I think there's people that actually have these special little boards that can kind of like ski on it, kind of like snowboard on it. It's like sandboards or some shit. Yeah, it is a gorgeous state. I love it. It's obviously, you know, our towns aren't as nice. You know, they're full of a bunch of crackheads, the big ones. The small towns aren't very lovely either, you know. They're not like the small town, Midwest small towns. But if you love the outdoors, man, New Mexico's a great state. If you're a hunter, fisherman, oh, beautiful state. I mean, we've got a lot of cool little rivers and stuff, but no, I would say the Midwest got a lot of fucking lakes, rivers. But we've got a lot of mountains. That's the thing you don't have in the Midwest, is it's a lot of flat land. You got a lot of water, but a lot of flat land. Here we got mountains, man. Mountains and mountains and mountains and mountains for days. Sandboarding, they do it in Egypt. There you go. Yeah, I mean, see, these dunes they're white, but there's probably some pretty big ones, but I'm sure they probably got some mean ones up down in like those places like in Egypt. You know, it's fun to take, they have those little sleds you can bring. You just get, back in the day, we used to just get the tops of trash cans and just go down the dunes when we go to White Sands. That was like a place they'd always take you for school field trips. White Sands. It was fun. It's a cool place to check out. I went there like a few years ago and I tried to bring you guys on the stream. How many did they say? 20,000. So there's 20,000 petroglyphs. We saw maybe 50 of them. I'm just kidding. But I took you guys to White Sands. Unfortunately, there's no data there. I found a little sliver where I had a little 5G, and I streamed there for like probably 10 minutes, and then that was it. But yeah, what a cool little campground. Like I said, pretty cute, pretty small, but private. I mean, shit. If you want to just come out and get some fucking, Taos is nice. We were there, a couple years ago when I went on the road trip with Stick. We went up and did whitewater rafting in Taos. It was nice. Went to the Taos Gorge, big old gorge walked over the bridge, the gorge, and that was really nice. That one, I think we were able just to post video because there wasn't any good data there, but actually, no, we were able to stream from there. Yeah, so unfortunately, you can't go in the visitor center because it's closed because of the government shutdown. But supposedly they said, let me see if there's a sign here. There's like another short hike here that takes you to like another little Indian village. I wonder if it's this one. Let me see. It's amazing they got these power lines still coming out over here. Exit. Oh, that was the way we came in. The fuck am I doing? Well, I don't know. I don't know where the hell the other one is. How you get to that other site. Because when we flew around towards this back area, I didn't see anything. Alright, my dudes. I am going to get back in the car and head back home. I'm just about, let's see, maybe an hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes from home. So here shortly, I will be back with Dobby, with Rio, and I'll be very happy, man. All right, man. I will see you guys later. Thank you guys for joining me on this little hike. And this is officially, I promise, the last stream of the Midwest road trip because I'm burning up. I'm going to blast the AC, jam out to some rap, and get home. Have a good day, guys. Love you guys. Take care. NJCourts is out.